Get ready for the dictation. Dictation will start in 5 seconds. Start. Sir, about 45 honorable members of this house have participated so far as in the debate. I am happy a great importance is being attached by the honorable members of this house to the subject of agriculture and irrigation, which is the very basis of our economy. Last year was really a very difficult year for our country. All of us have experienced the stresses and strains through which the food and agriculture economy passed. The reasons were many, but I think the natural disasters and the energy crisis were the two important contributory factors which added to our difficulty. As a result of this, some of the honorable members of this house were very eloquently spoke on a number of issues. They were trying to draw an inference that the agricultural production of the food production is going down in this country because of the failure of the government policy. I would very humbly like to make this submission. Of course, I am not making a claim that everything is all right with government policies. After all, in a vast country like India, there may be weaknesses in administration, in implementation, etc. But my own honest and personal assessment is that this country's direction as far as agriculture and food policies are concerned is very much in the right direction, and that is why we are making a very substantial progress, though during the last 3 years, because of the setback on account of some natural calamities, a general impression has been created by interested agencies, and perhaps because of there not being a proper understanding by some of our colleagues that something is wrong, I would like to submit a few facts, and the Honorable House may judge whether what I am saying is right or wrong. Unfortunately, in this country, still we depend very much on nature for our crops. I will give some statistics to show how the major crops of ours are still dependent on rains. Now, take wheat, which is very important crop in our economy. Now, in wheat, the aggregated acreage is 54%, which is the highest. In rice, it is 39%, and in the rest of the crops, it is very low. Naturally, whenever there is an uneven distribution of rainfall or a failure of rainfall, our crops get affected during the whole year or so. The government of India is to ensure our economy against these natural calamities, and I think we have started getting some results. For instance, the main highlights of last year's agricultural economy are that though there has been a drought, for instance, Gujarat is a very important state before both from the point of view of groundnut as also cotton, but this year the general level of cotton production is so high in the country that despite very severe drought conditions, if we try to analyze and look deep into the matter, we find that the general level of production has increased. Whatever the problems which are coming up as a result of more production, We shall face them and try to find some solution. I am glad that some of the members have very emphatically brought to our notice some of the problems because of more production of these commodities. In fact, what I was submitting were the positive aspects. Despite this, that this year was not a very normal year. This year in half of Madhya Pradesh there was very severe drought during the Kharif season, and then Orissa is in drought, as also Tamil Nadu, and about Gujarat I have already mentioned. I have mentioned our achievements in cotton. It is not confined to cotton alone, though the final figures and the final estimates would be available much later. We have some common sense judgment and also the advice of our experts. And sir, this country is going to see this year on one of our record productions in wheat. Wheat production went down after 1972 because there was a power shortage. There were some difficulties in regard to fertilizers, but the main season is the Rabi season. Winter season was absolutely dry. As I have already mentioned, 54% of the acreage under wheat is irrigated and 46% is unirrigated. Naturally, when there are no winter rains, it makes all the difference. But this year, despite the high level of fertilizer prices, there were favorable winter rains, and as a result of the efforts of the state government and various other agencies. Now, I think and I am likely to be proved very much correct. It is my assessment that we are likely to produce more than 27 million tons of wheat this year, which this country has never seen. Then, if we take the total Rabi production, it is not wheat alone, it is a number of other crops also. This year is going to make a history. As soon as a favorable season is there, with human effort, I anticipate record production. Sir, planning is the vital instrument we have adopted to realize the social objectives enshrined in our Constitution. Through the 5-year plans, we have already achieved a significant increase in the national income in the past 18 years and laid the foundations of technological advance. The plan is fast modernizing our agriculture and strengthening and diversifying our industry. Above all, it has reinforced national unity and purpose. The attack on our territory in 1962 and again in 1965 forced us to modify the pattern of national expenditure. Before we could reconcile the competing claims of development and defense, drought struck us. Foreign credits became uncertain. Recession followed. All these seriously restricted our freedom of choice. We have to divert our energies to fight drought and near famine and their aftermath. For some time, long-term planning had to be virtually suspended, but we succeeded in turning adversity to good use. We concentrated on import substitution, which further enlarged our industrial base. Full stop.